So within that context, there are different ways that you can access a coach. And the first one is as an individually, and that applies, I'm sure, in most of your organisations too, where I decide that's what would be best for me. I persuade my manager that they will help me fund it, and that's what happens. And that's at an individual level. The second one is setting up a coaching panel, which is internal to the department. So there are a number of different departments that have these set up. So I've set them up now and been involved in them in a couple of departments, whereby you decide what the range of coach skills, expertise, experience, backgrounds you think would be most useful in the context of those people that I've talked about, that organisational background that I've talked about before. And so you then have people agree to be on your internal coach, and they have little bios and people can look them up and work out whether they're going to go to them or not. The other internal to the department coaching process that I've been involved in setting up is using action learning, which is a specific process of problem solving in groups, whereby we trained a community of coaches within the department who were able to work with groups around specific problem solving processes under the banner of action learning, which is around defining the problem, having specific roles within the group about how you work, and then the people working with them to be coached through this pertinent, powerful issue at that moment. So that in that way the coaching wasn't related to the individual, but related to the business issue that the individual had at the time. Then obviously there are coaching processes that are put in place as part of change initiatives or 360s or the like. So in one department we had 340 people that we put through a Leadership 360 process, and then we all provided them all with follow-up debriefs and some follow-up coaching, and then of course had the coaching panel there as further support if people needed more sessions or there was an appropriate requirement for more sessions beyond those initial follow-up ones. Then last but not least, there are ones that are external to the departments across whole of government. There's the Victorian Leadership Development Council, which has its own panel. So I guess I'm also saying to those of you who are coaches and who want to know kind of where you ought to be looking to go, there's both the individual departments and also the Leadership Development Council, which has its own panel. A number of departments just simply use that rather than set up their own separately. And there's also ANSOG, which is the Australian and New Zealand School of Government, which is all states and territories and New Zealand, and has coaching and mentoring and education associated with it.
This has been a Swinburne production.